Sabhabadi on behalf of Vinayaka Missions Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Salem. I am glad in introducing the speaker today in the 38th quality webinar series of Vinayaka Missions Research Foundation deemed to be University, Salem. Today we have with us Dr. Krishnan, who is working as a professor and a program coordinator in marketing domain from SRM Institution of Science and Technology. Sir is a researcher. He has published almost 49 articles in Scopus. He has done 30 paper presentations, and he has also won a gold medal for the best paper presentation in SRM. He has published 2 books, and he holds a patent. Sir is one of the selection committee member in the University of Madras Etraj College for Women since 2010. He is also working as a co-guide and educational consultant, and he is also a doctoral committee member in Vinayaka Missions Research Foundation. Sir, at the outset, I would like to initially thank you for accepting our invitation, a very short notice, and taking all the trouble in preparing and helping us in the learning aspect of NAC criteria. So without a delay, I hand over the screen to you. Sir, please continue, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Very much thank you to the principal, Vinayaka Missions, the university. I am very happy to share my own experiences and thoughts, and of course, this is the time everyone talks about NAC, and this is the topic which chosen. I hope this will be the right topic because everyone talks about the stakeholders. Yes, the students. So no institutions or no organization, even that no customers, yes, that organization will not be. So that will be the right and the best topic which has chosen for the right time. I hope that should be the suitable time. Yeah, thank you very much. Has given me the opportunity to explore, and not only that, it has been some interactive session which will share our thoughts and concepts which is relevant and which will be fruitful for the institution and also the organization, which will improve the student performance and preparation. So once again, thank you very much for the opportunity is given by the Vinayaka Missions University and the principal and the coordinators who have involved in this NAC team and also the today seminar. Yes, of course, when we go for a topic, student support and progression, so we all know that there is about 7 criterion. Among the 7 criterion start from vision, mission, objectives of INOT. We all involved in PEO, PO, and program outcomes. So these are all set by the institution based, and we, of course, we have to achieve it in a longer way than how we are our targets and has to achieve. And the standard 2, why not? The criterion 2, then criterion 3, then criterion 4, and the major and pivotal when is criterion 5, which is completely related to the student. And without the student, no, I can say that no institutions. So that's why I used to say that it's the stakeholder. So what can do with the students, and both the I can say that customers, they not the students, they are the customers for the institution. So what the student, I mean the customers, what way can customers can evolve, what way that customers can improve, what way that their own progression maybe go beyond that. So that will go in this probably I'll take till 3:30 sharp, then we'll wind up this seminar. We'll call it as this workshop, whatever it is, right? So with that a small introduction, we'll move on to the next slide. That probably uh, slide number 2. In as I said, there are about 7 criterion in the NAC. We all know that. So out of which one of the major criterion is about student support and progression. Where here there is a 3 sub criterion. We all know that again. Because I want to keep and touch on that why this the criterion is very important in the institutions, where that too in educational institutions. So the sub criterion is we used to call it as 5.1. That's student mentoring and support, and 5.2 is student progression, and 5.3 student participation and activities. These are the major sub criterion where this criterion 5 is completely involved at that. Again, I want to keep and touch certain points which usually as a key points which has to consider while think on the student's point of view. In 5.1, it's completely touched and completely related on the point in which the student mentoring and the progress. Why? Because this student mentoring and the progress were here, how this the institution, particularly the educational institution, will provide necessary assistance to the student in terms of studying, in terms of providing the better facility, in terms of the student faculty mentoring for further improvement in the study. And not only that, it usually will have an that the faculty mentor not only in the study and so also for their own life. Particularly, we used to call it as career development. Yes. The next point we want to say about to acquire meaningful experience over learning at this campus and to facilitate the holistic development of the profession. So here, this meaningful experience in terms that suppose the student who joined in MPA, the student joined physiotherapy, the student who joined in occupational therapy, the student who joined in engineering, so that we see the the problematic thing is that what they want to learn and why they want to learn, what after the learning, of course, in learning in terms. So that how the holistic development and the progression after learning. Suppose the student joined in the MBBS. Yes, of course, they are going to do the services to the people. So this is what the meaning of meaningful experiences while studying and after studying their degree. So this is the point which we want to give that mentoring in the past. Third, it looks the student performance and alumni profiles and the progression of student to higher education and gainful employment. Of course, yes. So, the student performance and their after the degree, while going for an abroad or while doing the entrepreneur or while going for some higher studies or if they do some other entrepreneurial work, how the progressions are made or progressions are continuous or continuous or continuous. So where here that after the degree, how that stakeholders or the students will be gainful employment after the degree. So these are the major things. Yes, of course, it's said by the NAC, which you have to be more and more has to look into that, and probably that student mentoring and progression will be taken place. Next, it's about student progression. Yes, as of student, as of the institutions concerned, the student progression to higher studies or into the employment in terms if they want to join the multinational companies, MNCs, or TCS, HCL, and even to become the other major industries if they want to join in like manufacturing industries, core industries. So here, how and what the real requirement when they go for abroad and they want to do PhD and they want to do MS, when they want to do postgraduate, when they want to do any other higher studies. So from the day one, how that the student progression states, and if they want to join in the higher studies. Next, identify the reasons for poor attainment and plan and implement remedial measures, of course. Yes, we have an feedback mechanism. We have an in student point of view, there is upper level and the lower level. So in upper level, those students are high IQ, and the lower level, the students we used to call it as low LQ. So that is usually we call it IQ, HQ, and LQ. So HQ and LQ, we have to find out who are all comes under HQ and who and all comes under LQ. So where here you have to identify the HQ and LQ. If the students are poor in performance, then identify those poor in performance, have a remedial way in which how to improve their performance. So this is the point which we have to discuss in the second point. Next, third, sustainable good practices which effectively support the student facilitate optimal progress. So there are different practices, different ways, different manner in which the student can get involved in the curricular as well as extracurricular activities. Say the point is, I can say one simple example. If they are very much in extracurricular activities, like in sports activities, why can't that students can induce and also enhance and also then their own path can be created by the institution, which will be fruitful in the coming year. So this 5.2 tells about in our curriculum. Then 5 point, when it's more talks about, there are few questions which has to answer. That's the college have independent system for student support and mentoring. So these are the questions which probably you can put forth on the organization or the educational institutions, and this question definitely has to rise. Does the college have an independent system for student support and mentoring? Yes. If yes, what are the structural and functional characteristics? This has to answer each and every institution. This will be probably will improve their student performance. Next, so what provisions exist for academic mentoring apart from classroom work? Every day we go and teach. We probably give them learning experience. Apart from this, what extra? What extra then? What extra then? So that will be probably another question which will arise in class. Then, does the college provide personal enhancement and development schemes for the students? Apart from this, if they want to improve, see, the person who's very well in dancing, the person who is very well in some extra, work on even in sports. How that college provide personal enhancement and development schemes for the students? If yes, then what are the ways? See, we have given that career counseling, soft skill development, sports activities, etc., etc. So that will be the another key question which will arise in the student mentoring and then support. Next, does the college publish its updated prospectus and handbook annually? If yes, what are the activities, information included, provided to the student through this document? Is there the provision for online access? See, nowadays, it's very well required because of social media. Then everyone wants to be in online and online access, online improvement. See, on those days, that physical, manual, testimonials, then brochures, all those things, it's in the physical form. Nowadays, it's totally different. We all know that social media is the more and most influencing one to get in and get in touch with the students and get in touch with all other customers and that points. So how this probably is taken into that major point in which the students college publish in this particular point. So next, specify the type and number of scholarship freebies given to the students. See, when we take UG, so with the highest scorer, if they go for a 90%, 90%, then when you want to join in PG courses, how come this is possibly then eligible to that, and how this will be taken to that particular point? Even when you go for an the scheme like in PhD stipend, that's one point which can provide by the institution for the further progress and further study. So these are all the major points. So whether students are engaged financially, whether students are engaged or given support in terms of academically or financially, that it has to take care for the students' point of view. I'll take you one. Yeah, thank you. I'm continuing. Thank you for the break. 1 minute break. Right. So let's move on to the next slide. It's continuing. Then, under student support and what percentage of student receives financial assistance from the state government, central government, and other national agencies? See, there are number of government schemes which are available in the state government as well as the central government. Example, Kishore, which has the Prasoshana Yojana, then SN Bose Fellow. These are the few examples I can quote that. See how these facilities are enjoyed and utilized by the student community. So this has to be taken into that even consideration by each and every institution, where how this institutions has taken place in this point of view. Next question arise for each and every institution is how does that the college have an international student cell to cater the needs of the foreign students? Yes, of course. Because how come that the more and more involvement and more the entry of the foreign students. Yes, we used to call it as NRI. So, what percentage of NRI students who have admitted in our institutions, and how their NRI students are taken care, their own study, then supported. So these support are how come this supported for the overseas or international students or the physically challenged students or the differently able students or the SC/ST, OBC. The list is goes on how the institution provides better participation, better support, better enhancement and their own. See, there are a lot of points in support services, like you know, uh, the institution provides to the students. So, as such, how the institution are provide more into that, more into support based in terms of health, in terms of insurance, in terms of skill development, in terms of career development, in terms of performance enhancement, in terms of exposure, in terms of sending to other institutions, sending to participation, competition, etc., etc. These are all which you probably required more in terms of the institution and student support. As a continuation, that how the college provide guidance. See, which is more and more it's required for each and every institutions the participating and guidance if they want after completing or during the degree if they want to write the competitive examination or civil examination or defense examination or net SLET. So how that the institution developed and the institution provides this completely related to that. So if yes, what is the outcome? What so after that? See, these are all the point which required for the NAC. Next, it's about uh, policies of the college or institution for enhancing the student participation in sports and extracurricular activities through the strategies. This can be framed based on that each and every institution, their own provisions, how that the institution provides the better facility over here. The next question arises, does the college has an institutional mechanism for placement of its activities and students? So what services are provided to help the students with job opportunities and then interview process and develop entrepreneur skills? So these are all the few questions which probably raises with that a particular key points in which how this institution helps in terms of uh, the student development and support. See how the college has given student grievance redressal cell. See, each and every institution will have a grievance redressal cell. They probably they are very much open to give their own opinion and the feedback about the institution and other programs. So does the college have an separate cell or separate feedback mechanism over to resolve the issues in say related to sexual harassment, related to anti-ragging, related to illicit point of view. So this mechanism and the key point which probably they want to keep and they want to keep in mind over that particular point. Okay, this is about completely the 5.1. Then 5.2, it's about student progression. So where here, after the UG, probably they have to go to the PG. Yes, after the PG, they have to go to the MPhil and PG to PhD. These are all the student progression where what percentage of students has after completing their own UG and move on to the PG. Yes, of course. After PG, how many percentage are moving to? Nowadays, MPhil is nowhere, but only a few colleges are for MPhil. So straight away that a PG to PhD. Then there is a requirement how many of selected through campus and off campus. So on campus and off campus, which is completely required. How many companies are recruited through on campus? How many students are recruited through off campus? So which is the point in which the NAC is very much care on their student preparation. So how that programs, their own program completion, their own dropout, their own point, their own see this completely related to the student progression. So here how that the student are in this progressive way. Next, I said the third criterion is 5.3, that is student participation and activities. So earlier, the 5.1 and 5.2 is completely related to the organization or the institution where and what and how that facility provides and facilitate the students to engage and go for beyond their level. Where the third point in the criterion, though the facility available, though the provisions available, though participative activities are available, how much the percentage of students are involved in terms of sports activity, in terms of games, in terms of cultural activities, in terms of extracurricular activities, which we have to be in point in which it's notable that how that the point are very much in participative and how that activities are very much involved. So here, say suppose if you take in sports activities, what percentage of students are involved in this state level, university level, zonal level, national level, international level? How much award or got or which award, whether it is a national award, international, how much percentage of students involved in the international level? How much students are got the award, whether they got first rank or second rank or third rank in the university level or the second level? So it's all it's student participations where here this student support services are very much required. So this is the student participation and the activities where in this 5.3. So now I think we are very clear on 5.1, 5.2, and then 5.3. Now we'll move on to that the concepts. See, the assessment by the NAC takes a holistic view of all input, process, and outcome. That's why there is a 3 point. One is what the institution gives the input to the student. The third point, the second point, what process in terms of learning, in terms of acceptance. The third is the outcome. That's why input, process, and outcome. How many students are really enjoyed? How many students are really utilize the services which provides by the institution? That's why. So outcomes of the institutions. That is why the major institutions like Vinaya missions, that higher education institution, are expected to demonstrate how to achieve their objectives of the core values in terms of data, information, detailed in the self-study report. I hope that every NAC is required self-study report. So we ourselves prepare, this much students are involved, this much students are participated, and we send this report, this SSR, to the NAC. So what the NAC that assessment period, based on that they have, we all know that QN and QLM, and QLM, that quantitative metrics and quantitative metrics. So how much the quantitative in terms, how many percentage of students are involved, how many percentage of. So this quantitative metrics and qualitative QLM and QLM is of course, it's very well required in terms of each and every criteria. There will be a marks, based on the marks that each institution should be awarded. So the qualitative part of the outcome is that there will be a report, then peer team report will visit it, and these reports, and based on that, CGPA used to call it as 3 out of 4, then 3.85, 3.86, 3.5, so even 3.45. So based on that, the grade will be awarded like a student's what we supposed to be awarded in this performance. So a similar way, all the institution will be awarded based on the CGPA. So this is about the assessment of each institutions. Okay. So the topic which I have chosen for the today's seminar is about the strategies to boost student performance. So we all know that there are 6 factors. So 6 factors probably which will help to the students in terms. What are the 6 factors? They here: directed, focused, nurtured, engaged, connected, and valued. So students have a goal and know how to achieve it. So we all know that every student will have a, suppose the person who join physiotherapy or occupational therapy. See, they have a goal. Yes, they have a goal. Yes, why they want to join in occupational therapy or physiotherapy or medicine? They have a goal. They want to become a uh, doctor if they join in the MBBS course. Yes, of course, they want to. Say they know how to achieve it. So this is what the director. Next factor is focused. Students stay on track, keep their eyes on the prize. Yes, why? Of course, what? The students who joined in the institution, they have their own track. Yes, first semester, second semester, then they have to pass in third semester, fourth semester. See, it's they are in the track. Of course, one final day, the destination will be. So all the students will keeping their eyes on the prize. That means that they reach the destination at one point of time. So they are in the focus. That's the second success factor. Third, nurture. We used to keep on saying that nurture is a term which is major points in the teaching point. Students feel somebody wants and help them to succeed. Yes, this is what the point where we start from the day one. We has to nurture the student to achieve it. They have a goal. They have a path or track, but who drives? There is a path. There is a track. Who drives? Here, as a student, as a student, they know everything, but there is a nurture point. That means somebody wants and help them to succeed. That is why all the teaching fraternity where has to nurture the student and help them to succeed or achieve whatever it may be in the UG or PG or a Phil or PhD. See, that is why in PhD level we used to say that guide up supposed to be guide them to the right path, right? So this is nurture, the third point. Fourth point, engaged. Students actively participate in class and extracurricular activities. Where here they engage. All the students start from the day one, from the day, and so we all giving that teaching and learning material. Then in the evening we give assignments and ask them to write it and submit on that. We'll give mini projects and project activities. And of course, we give some activities that has to prepare and submit in the physical and as well as online. And also, in some cases, we take some case studies and we do and complete and submit. See, this is the student has to completely engage, then and complete their 330. Completely engage, then their own activities has to be met. So this is about engaged. The next point is students feel like they are part of the college community. So which means they have to be connected. What they have to connect it? See here, they have to be connected in terms of the student as a learner, students as a learner, where they have to be a learning community in the college. If they are educational institution, of course, what they have come for and learn. They have so this is completely related to connected and family value. Students have skills. Students have talents. Students have a certain ability. Students have an experience or recognized. If they are high IQ, then that student has to recognize and support and help them to achieve more and more. So what we have to do is we have to create an opportunity to contribute more and more to the institution, and also more contributions are welcomed, and also that contributions are appreciated. Suppose one student got a medal in the first gold medal. Yes, immediately you have to call the students and in front of that all the faculty, in front of all the students. Why can't you appreciate them and say best wishes to the particular student to encourage to get more gold medals? See, these are the key success factors where the student progressions will be more and why not? So that will be fruitful in terms. Right, right. Next, we are living in this global uh, tech world. You know, global tech world, all the points, all the information which are easily accessible, not only accessible, easily know what is going on in the real world at the real time, where we are able to get the information about what is happening, what is going on in the United States and United Kingdom and the other countries as of time. So the technology connects everywhere in the world. So as of student community, now, you know, AI and chat GPT, which more AI tools which were developed, which is completely in par with the students, where the integration of technology in education, the point, 1 minute, I think it's not updated. Any idea? The slide it moves. Can anyone say? Are you able to see the PPT?
Yes, sir.
One, because I have not changed the PPT. Yeah. Thank you. Right. See how use of technology in teaching and learning. This is the point which I am completely elaborating over here. That how that the integration of technology in education in terms of use of technology to enhance the student learning experience. You see how the different tools where AI tools, Chat GPT, and keeps say all other tools which is completely utilized in the different types of technology in the classroom. The majority of the institution now have smart classroom, which virtually they can have virtual classroom. That creates a learner who are actively engaged with the learning objectives in terms of that. You see, what the NAC is completely is on about the SEO, that specific educational objectives and program objectives and even program outcomes, where that will be fruitful and reach to almost all the students in terms. How come the technology helps and how come the technology in the classroom allows the students to gain a deeper understanding of topics which interest them and collaborate in each other and direct their learning. So how come this the technology as the one of the tools? So nowadays those days we all experience when if they want to submit an assignment, yes, you have to write and submit. You know, here, the major in the education institutions, they have a logs, they have a podcast, they have a video presentations. The students can submit through that. So, what that impact of technology on education is undeniable, and it is taken to the next step of the world. So, this is the point which I want to clarify over the use of technology in teaching and learning. Next, it's about uh, you know uh, new and alternative source of student support and funding. Higher education holds a key to inclusive growth rather than that progressive. See, see when you take about world of knowledge production, how the other countries are doing, those countries are doing. Here in this recent increases in the budget allocation in the central government, higher education has more. That is why they brought it NEP or 2020, where the importance of exploring the alternative source of financing higher education. That how come that government intervention in this education and discusses the pros and cons of some alternative source of financing. As far as students concerned, that there are main sources of education, main sources of financing in terms of public finance, federal bank, taxes, fee and services, NGOs, different loans, different government loans, which supports the students and aids their own activities. So this uh, we have to be very much in this particular point. See, there are educational findings which we can probably think on professional and conduct and regulation, general financing planning, and you know this probably helps them to go into that better facility over the point in which how the educational financing is happen to the point in which how it is achieved. Next, how that better use of community resources in terms. What exactly the community resources which will provide for the better resources for the student community. That community sources which completely fulfill the criteria for those around in the environment that facilitates a few students or few people or few sites or the houses which completely assist that can be included in this service. Where utilizing these services which will help the school system to identify the see there are students which are really literally poor in the basic needs. So here the community will come forward and help them to go for an education. We all heard about in the social media and YouTube that many, even the recent times, one sub inspector and police inspectors. After that, see, they are in the process of helping them, the students, to their own studies. These are the points which has to take into that the next level. So these are all few points which I want to clarify over the community-based. Next, the role of the teacher in a personalized and competency-based classroom. So this has been into that core. Yes, of course. Why not this into the core levels? You know, here the point in which I want to clarify that in traditional teacher-centered classroom, what does it mean? Teacher-centered. Teachers ask questions and students answer. This is what teacher-centered classroom. Teacher choose what the students will be working on and when, and deliver direct instruction often to the whole class at once. This is a traditional method. What about today? It's totally different. Student-centered, personalized classroom. The teacher walks with the students and has the resources and has the resources that supports that they need to take risk and follow the students' lead. There is a difference. There's a difference. Student-centered classroom is a olden method. Nowadays, it's completely a student-centered with personalized classroom. The teacher works with the students and has the resources and supports. They need to take the risk and follow that. See, the point here is, I said there is a fourth point. How do the teachers support each student individual needs? What are the way you can help them to that? You can help them in personalized learning. So teacher must have a support and freedom. They need to understand the support each and every child or the student holistically. Based on that, suppose the students very well weak in, or they are not able to buy any books. Here the teacher can help them because their family situations is that particular student not able to buy even a single book. Then the student are different culture. See, there are students, they come from different culture, from different area. The poverty. Now the teacher have a complete freedom or flexibility to meet the student needs and appropriate way to help them. And many teachers use data notebooks with the student as a way their involvement for the goal setting. So your progress is monitoring. Even in the schools, it's happened. Their progress report. That's why we used to call it as progress report. Whether the particular student is in the progress. That's why we used to call it as progress report. So when personalizing learning, there is a necessary cultural systematic shift toward a learning community that brings inequitable practices to the light and has the potential to empower teachers to take into action their own equalities. So this is completely an competency-based assessment, which every institution has to think of and every teacher has to think of. Now, we'll come to the strategies part of it. You know, strategies which everyone has taken into that. How come that the strategies are taken into different shades? There are different strategies where here we want to clarify or over 6 strategies for a differentiated instruction in the project. See, you can go and think on differentiate routines, reflection and goal setting, can give mini lessons and centers and resources, voice and choice in products, differentiate through formative assessment, and balanced teamwork. See, this few points which you can completely think on, and there are about student support services which probably help them to work. You know, student support, it's not all inclusive terms. Means what? As a student support, as a student, it requires academic and non-academic assistance. Where the student's learning includes, where the student's learning includes health, spiritual being, community engagement, hidden curriculum, extra curriculum, and other activities for the successful graduation from the program. Though that the institution, particularly educational institution, given enough infrastructure and excellence in health education, but the student required assistance for these things. When you talk about assistance for the scholarship, concession, bank loan, medical assistance, learner support, and keeps all these points in. So where education and other things which will support the students erratically, then more on how students are supported in it. Next, institutional support to the students, of course, which very well required. Educational institution like us, which provides students with the space and the opportunity to meet the like-minded individuals. What is it, like-minded? Either on a peer or mentor basis, as every faculty has to work as a peer or a mentor basis, which helps the students to be a achiever and top professionals, and also they have to be in extracurricular activities as well. So in terms, all the educational institutions which support the student in terms of educational trips, medical camp, arts and sports program, computer and personality development classes, NCC, NSS, student or as a coordinators in various activities. You know, majority of the HEI, higher education institution, they have a student committee, class committee, student monitoring committee, then leadership committee. Of course, in educational institutions, yeah, few students are involved in the board of studies and academic councils. So, which the students help, not only help, they come to know what their education is about. So, in terms how it helps them to go into that. Next, we'll move on to the certain feature which will know how this feature, used to call it as continuing professional development, and continuing medical education, CME and CPDB. See, these are all ingredient that CPD is a process that includes continuing medical education, where many countries are now moving to the knowledge and skill-based CME system, towards system that promotes a wide range of competencies needed to practice high-quality medicine in terms of, see, everyone joins. But the purpose of CME and CPDB is to provide a practical framework for medical professionals to improve the capability to retain the competency, particularly to practice safely, effectively, and legally within their evolving scope of the remit. So that's why CPDD, it works apart from CPD, right? So this is a small way in which that seminar will help everyone. Yes, VCPS. Yes, every higher education institutions, it's very well required that the PCPS. What the PCPS? It's on about NCC unit in terms. Yes, all the higher education institutions, they are enrolling the NCC even from the enlisted unit. It's an open category. Any students they can approach the commanding officer, who is the NCC officer, that they can join, and that based on their enrollment, then NCC officer will utilize then probably their own interest. Based on that, they are utilized, and probably they will have a certificate at the end of the training. So the division, the NCC training will be provided. So this will be the major advantage that the students are encouraged in terms of NCC. Good. Next, career counseling and guidance. Get see career guidance, and this, a major distinction between the career guidance and counseling. There is a two different part. One is it's completely guiding them, get more experience and skill based. How psychological assessment is assessed in that. Guidance for competitive exams, guidance for their own growth, guidance for the potential development. Apart from this, there is a one point which we want to mention here is that soft skill development, where many students might not have the facility to utilize the computer, where here computer, English, ethics, moral values, even that many might have the facility to enjoy and use. So these are the few points which we want to mention in this career counseling and guidance. Next, why can't you have the remedial coaching center or remedial coaching for their stakeholders, the career guidance? Apart from this career guidance, remedial coaching. We all know that every institution will have a developmental education or basic skill education, competency or compensatory education, preparatory education, academic upgrading. These are the points which you want to develop or which want to utilize or which want to mention here, that every student to achieve that expected competency in their academic skills in terms of literacy and. So remedial coaching, how can that the one student have that high depression, highly stressed? So those students will be given remedial coaching in terms of yoga, meditation, happiness club activities, fitness activities like Zumba, where here the remedial courses remedial measures which will be helpful to the students, where here how these students are more into that. So these are the points which probably it's very well required and has to be key points right here. Next, it's about yoga and meditation. This I mentioned here. How come that every institution provide the facility for the yoga and meditation? Then, yes, this simple way in which every institution can have a happiness club activities. Then we'll move on to the grievance redressal. It's of course it's very well required for the higher education institutions. Then how come this uh, yeah, redressal mechanism. I think I hope is able to see the PowerPoint presentation. Yes, it's there. Redressal mechanism. See, redressal mechanism. See, it's aimed to look into the complaints lodged by the any student. Can be teaching methodology, or it can be infrastructure, or it can be any room facility, it can be the transport facility. It can be anything. So redress it as per the requirement. So student can state their grievance regarding any activity or non-academic activity, any activity related to academic as well as non-academic. So it will campus through the online or grievance. See, everywhere there will be a suggestion box, student grievance redressal box. In terms of, see, there are different redressal cell in every institution. See, women grievance redressal cell, anti-racking grievance redressal, student grievance redressal, student council. You know that way in which the students can be redressed as per the requirement. So here, for that students, you have to identify and give them PCPS, that is psychological assessment and career counseling, and personal counseling and mentor-mentee program. So every in the institution, like higher education institution, they can have a mentor-mentee. So each classroom can be separated into 15 students, one mentor and mentee. See, this is the way in which the students can be retrust, and probably that can be achieved through that. Student participation and activities. See, where here the student participation and activities is taken into more and more. See, how come that student participated? So like that you can create here Excel 2018, 2019 and 20. How many students are participated, how many students are got a medal, international part. These are all the activities in which each and every unit will have a separately, then it will be identified. Then we'll move on to alumni. Yes, yes, it's very well required, that alumni association. Apart from this, main aim of the alumni was to establish connection between the ex-student and to the running students for the betterment of themselves and for the community. Yes, alumni association after networking opportunity which can connect recent graduates with established professionals. So many students say, we can say that even for the satellite, we all know that satellite 3 and Chandrayaan 3. See, there is a one student who studied in the particular institution and joined as a director. So this is the best example is an alumni. Say those students are raising the hands that he is my alumni of that. So these are the alumni association which will help the institutions who are that. Okay, next move on to that. Cultural activities, where here the many are very well required in the cultural activities in terms that how that institutions provide the better facility in terms of cultural activities, right? See, how come that cultural activities help the students and sports activities, how come this sports activities which will help them to the students in terms and arts and cultural activities like their own ability which will bring outside that these are the facilities an education institution can bring it. Then finally we'll come to that instructional process, the key to success and the student achievement. In what way this student can be achieved, what are the ways in which the students can be achieved, apart from cultural, apart from sports, apart from arts and cultural activities, the key to student achievements, that will be the major point in which they can bring out. So there are different levels of student progression. They are in the beginning level, they are in the middle level, they are at the end level. So those students are those beginning and middle and end of the level which can be identified. So that will be taken into that next point in which how this will be assessed, informed, formal, and as checking for understanding. That strategy will be more for that more success. So there are different leadership and classroom activities which will take into the next point, and these are all the point in which where you can bring more and more on that particular point. So with that, I can say that the management can provide different tools in terms of improvement for their own status. So with that, I close my session and my thoughts. Thank you very much for providing the opportunity. I'll give you another 10 minutes for the interactive sessions. So any questions from the audience? Any questions from the audience? Is it audible then?
Yes.
Any questions, sir? Sir, Principal, sir, if there are no questions from the audience, I think we'll go for and wind up.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I'm Dr. Yogeshwari from VHMC. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks, sir. First, I'd like to thank our university, VMRFDU Mission Research Foundation for making this session made possible. And I thank VHMC IQAC Coordinator Dr. Jnana Sekharan, sir, to help this session even in his absence. In spite of busy schedule and short notice, our resource person, Dr. Krishnan, sir, prepared this session and presented wonderfully and helps to know how to use the resources and how to manage it. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank our principal of VHMC, Dr. Ratna Sababari, sir, to support in all our activities. I thank you all the IQAC coordinators and faculties for the guidance and support for this session. Thank you so much, sir. Really, it's a wonderful session, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, VMRFDU Mission has given the opportunity. I thank all the principals, all the coordinators, all the members in the institutions. Thank you all. I'm just closing the sessions. If there is a question or if there is any doubts and clarifications, you can contact me. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.